Don't ask yourself, will this make today a productive day? Will this mean that I have done now, that I have done enough for one day for today? But instead ask yourself, if what I have done today is added to other stuff that I have done this month, will that make the current month, this month that I'm talking about, a productive month or not? Will the collective of what I have done this month be great, be enough, be, an amount of, stuff that I have done that is really something that I could be proud of? If I kept going at this rate, or if these things are all accomplished at the end of the month, even if each piece seemed to be too little for a whole day, if, thought of in isolation. In other words, even though it looked like I was so slow each day in terms of productivity or achievement, will the total of finished stuff by the end of this month still look good or enough, regardless, after piling or stacking up all those seemingly small daily accomplishments together or not? The point here is, if you judge yourself in terms of, is what I have done today enough for me to consider today a productive day, a highly productive day, you might find yourself that you're frustrated too frequently. Like most of the days, you'll be frustrated because you will always think, I could have done more today. For one day, I could have done more within 24 hours. That's not enough. I cannot rest at night. I cannot be proud of myself. I will always feel like I have not done enough. But you think that this is related to the feeling of, oh, never, you will never be satisfied because you always have an issue with feeling good enough. You are not good enough. You think you are not good enough. And that's why whatever that you do, you will feel that it's not enough or it's not good enough because you think this has something to do with the I'm not good enough problem that you think you have. But not necessarily. I'm telling you, I'm arguing you here that it might be because you think that what you have done for one day is not enough because you could have done more. But if you looked at it from the perspective of 1 month, is what I have done for a certain month, for a whole month, is that good enough for a whole month or not? So if you kept trying to be as productive as you could ever be every single day and ended up with a few bad days, will you still be able to get a whole month and look at it and say, but still the overall productivity or achievement or accomplishment of that whole month is enough? Is what you did throughout an entire month or throughout the last month, for example, is it enough for a whole month? The answer could be, I will not say that the answer will always be yes, but it is easier compared to trying to win every single day. It's easier to have a whole month with overall productivity that is higher than the minimum that you accept for a whole month. It's easier to have that compared to every single day I have been productive as much as I could have been productive. Like if you compared the total of the whole month, of course it will be bigger than every single day isolated. But I'm talking about here, it's easier to win the month than it is to win every single day. So if you judged yourself according to the whole month, it's easier to win this. You will always accomplish more in the whole month than the minimum that you consider, the acceptable. It's easier for you to have a month that you can call productive than it is for you to have one day that was productive. It really is. Why? If you had a few bad days, you can try to increase your productivity during other days in order to make up for, those bad days. So you'll do more in other days to make up for the lack of productivity in some days. So you'll end up with a total of productivity during the entire month that is above the minimum acceptable level of productivity that you put for yourself, set for yourself for a whole month. It's easier to get to that. But what will happen if you had a bad day in terms of productivity? What will happen? How can you make up for that during the same day? Like the day's over already. So you only have the bad results of the bad day, and you cannot fix that. So it will always mean that you failed today to be productive. How can you fix that? How can you make up for that during the same day? It's impossible because you're already tired and you are like at the second half or the approaching the end of the day. Now you cannot do more work to make up for the first half of the day that was crappy. You cannot make up for that. So when you have a bad day, it's over. But if you had several bad days within the same month, you can say, hey, I had some bad days here. I should try to make the next few days very productive. Like I should make up for that within the next few days. So you'll end up working harder and you will make up for those bad days. And in the end, the overall productivity of that whole month will be higher because of that. So it's easier for you to have higher productivity, in a whole month than it is in one day. Because anything could go wrong, in a single day. For any reason, you failed to reach satisfying productivity within one day. For any reason. What are you going to do? Like, you failed at this. But you can tomorrow try to do more to make up for that. And then you will end up the total of what you did today, if added to what you did tomorrow, is good for 2 days. What you did today and what you did, the other day that was bad, if put together, the overall, productivity was good for 2 days. So you were able to make up for the failure of yesterday. So if you keep going on like this for a whole month, you will have a more productive month because you will have the opportunity, you will always have the opportunity to make up for any amount of bad days you had within that month, in terms of productivity. You will always work harder, the rest of the days in order to have an overall highly productive month. So you will end up with more achievement and more progress, and you will move the needle further, during that month because you have a lot of other days where you've worked harder than normal to make up for the bad days that you were underproductive, in them.